And welcome back to episode 4 of Suplex Biddies.
No.
I am Chris Jones, aka the boss. This week, we have the Priested Bunny. There is a DJ.
Right, the boss. Don't say the boss.
Charlotte, I'm a boss.
I'm a boss.
We got the Priested Bunny, Diego, the DJ Galvis. And as you've heard and might have saw, if depending on where you're watching, we have Disco and Fuego, Andrew, the wrestling aficionado, Hunter.
Yes. Me.
Suplex Biddies is brought to you by Couch Guy Sports. Make sure you're checking out everything that has to do with Couch Guy Sports. Make sure you check out
Use
Twitch.
the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
Try one time to use that internet.
One time. You'll never look back.
So we got a little bit to talk about this week. We're gonna change it up a little bit. We do have Fastlane coming up, but we're gonna save that for later in the show. So what we're gonna kick off with is we're gonna kick off top moments from Raw. So I'm gonna start with the Priested Bunny here. And Diego, I want you to give me best, all right, and worst moments from Monday night.
Sure. I mean, the Monday Night Raw episode was a little bit lacking of the usual that they promote. I think like my favorite moment was probably, of course, the continuation of now this time Miz versus Drew McIntyre. That was good to watch. Thought good kind of usage of the microphone and promo continuation there. For me, Drew McIntyre is just not as good as previous promos that I'm used to for Raw in itself, but he's working on it. He's trying at least. Somewhat semi-good, maybe Lana and Naomi, Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose, maybe. But the overall in itself, I think the worst moment was probably the Shane McMahon and Braun Strowman. I just think it's such a pointless storyline, but that's just my opinion. I'd probably give it a D in grading of A through F, but that's just my opinion. Anyone else?
I mean, for me, my top two, I want to say like the best for me was Asuka coming back and showing some tenacity in her beatdown of Shayna Baszler. Because, Shayna unfortunately did injure her recently. And, one imagines it's not intentional. They all respect each other. They're not trying to hurt each other. But in kayfabe, it makes it pretty, good to go back to it. Like if Asuka just came back and was dancing and saying she wants to fight Charlotte, it wouldn't make sense. So she kicked Shayna Baszler's ass. It was great. And then the other good for me would be, so that'd be the best. The good for me was probably going to have to be Lashley versus Sheamus, the main event of Raw.
Ooh.
I feel like they just put on a great match. I mean, again, Sheamus, a lot of people are sick of him because he's been around forever, but the last year and a half, he's been unreal. Like he's put on so many good matches, put over so many different people. And it's just, once again, it made Bobby Lashley look like a beast going into WrestleMania. And then I don't know if I necessarily like the storyline where they already gave Drew the championship match. So I don't necessarily know why him and Sheamus are fighting again at Fastlane, as we'll go over. But, you could have made that a number one contender match. But I thought that was a great match and showed how great both of them are. The bad for me, as much as I didn't enjoy Shane and Braun, I did like the beatdown because it looked like Shane McMahon just kicked his ass. So, I mean, you need a little bit of heat behind a feud instead of calling each other stupid every week. And, the paint, whatever. But my big time bad is going to have to be New Day winning the tag championships.
Yes.
I love the New Day. Always have, always will. But right now, it just didn't make sense for them to come away with that and beat the Hurt Business when they're the world champion and they're supposed to be looking great as a unit. I mean, it set up an interesting WrestleMania match, but it just feels like they're going to drop it in like a couple weeks. So I don't know why you couldn't have just done a triple threat and done the same thing. So love seeing them, love Woods, love Kofi, but I think that was a stupid short-sighted booking if I've ever seen one in recent memory.
I mean, personally, I think the best thing was definitely the main event of Raw. It was Lashley and Sheamus. I mean, they just, for whatever reason, like Hanuman said, Sheamus, as of late, when he is healthy, he puts on these fantastic matches that you sit there and you want more and more of. And he slowly reminded me of the Sheamus back in the day when he was like their big main event guy at one
It
point.
was Sheamus O'Shaughnessy.
Yep.
So that's right.
just one of those where it looks like he's a main event guy again. It just looks really good for the product personally. Another thing that I really liked.
I'm gonna say this, and you can tell me to F myself, but he's almost like this current generation Shawn Michaels, where he's just putting people over and putting on fantastic matches. If you remember toward the end of Shawn Michaels' career, he came back and won the title in 2002, but didn't win a single championship outside of like a tag team championship with Triple H in like 2008 or 2009. But he just kept working programs with people and putting them over, making them look unbelievable while also looking unbelievable himself. I know that's a reach, but it feels like they're setting him up for that type of role going forward.
It's an interesting take.
Go fuck yourself. Fucking put Sheamus in the same category as Shawn Michaels.
Well, how similar are their timelines?
I understand where you're getting at, but fuck you. So, another thing that I thought was good, Hunterman touched upon it again. Asuka going crazy after the match. You know, seeing her go for revenge on Shayna Baszler after she kicked her teeth out. It looked really good, and it looked like we were going to see like a crazy Asuka for once, and I think that's what we've been waiting to see for a while.
Yeah, that killer instinct that she had in NXT, where everyone was afraid of her.
I was dying for that heel turn too. I needed that.
If she went heel, I wouldn't hate it. I just think she needs a little bit of edge. Every baby face, like good guy, good girl on the roster is so bland these days.
Yeah.
You need that extra little edge to keep you.
I mean, that's basically what you could say too. I mean, even though they're not even in the same stratosphere, that's basically what you could say about Bayley, because Bayley came into all of this as like, you know, sweetheart little baby, just kicking ass and taking names, and all of a sudden she just went to evil, whatever you want to call her,
Evil Bayley.
Yeah, to this monstrosity that she is today.
I think she's better as a heel too, but I feel like it's a lot easier to be a bad guy because you just tell people they stink and then they're like,
yeah.
But you know, whatever.
Or you can just call them stupid.
Stupid. Jones, what was your least favorite part?
Well, I was getting to it before I got really interrupted.
We love you. Don't worry about it.
No, I wasn't even talking about you, Diego. Don't worry. You talk as much as you want.
Oh.
Yeah, that ugly face right there.
Wow.
Trying to bro?
Are we about to have our first internal Suplex Biddies match?
You trying to bro?
I'll powerbomb you.
Will I be the referee?
You trying to bro?
I'll powerbomb you into the shadow realm, all right?
Speaking of the bro, and I'm sorry to interrupt. One match that I think kind of went under the radar that nobody expected to actually be good during Raw was actually Riddle and Mustafa Ali.
Yep.
Because the bro actually finally met his own competition and actually had to think outside of the box to beat Mustafa Ali in this once.
You got lucky because Retribution decided to distract their leader.
Yeah. But anyways, sorry about that.
Yeah, Jones, finish your thought. Jeez.
I'm gonna fight. I'll fight every single one of you. Oh, look at me, my name.
Look at me, I'm big and strong.
Fucking hate this kid. Get him off my
shoulders
podcast.
are bigger than yours.
Relax, you little bitch.
I'm 5'8", you leave me alone.
You tell everybody you're 5'10". Shut the fuck up.
I said 5'9" one time, and everyone laughed at me.
And not once is that kid anywhere near 5'9".
Back in line, boys. Back in line.
But me personally, I mean, I hate seeing Damian Priest wasting his talent on these squash matches. Like against Elias, it was very good, but then he faced Jackson Riker this week. It was horrible. Like he beat him in I think it was like less than like 2 minutes. Like it wasn't ideal. Like
no, not at all.
And I get it where, you know, you had John Morrison come out after looking like Rob Schneider from Grown Ups, which is real bad.
I don't understand the you know.
Dude, I just didn't get it. And then you had Miz obviously come in with the guitar and it, Bad Bunny. You said that feud for WrestleMania. I get it, but like, give Priest some competition. I'd rather him face Elias every week than have him face Jackson Riker.
One thing I'll say about Priest is I'm glad they've kept his entrance as it was in NXT because it still feels special.
Yes.
So I hope they stick with that. You know, he does the archery, he's got the flames and everything. Hopefully they don't get rid of that and dumb it down.
Yeah. Hopefully they go back to Keith Lee being limitless, but you know, we'll see.
Bask in his glory.
All right, so that takes care of Monday Night Raw. Any last thing before we move on?
No.
Anybody have any last things?
No, I think Fastlane's going to be a banger. I just think everyone's expecting a crap show. So I think they did a good job hyping it up. And some stuff stunk. Not everything's going to be good on the card, but I think they're going to do some stuff.
The last thing I wanted to touch upon quickly. Why did Shane have slime under the ring? Since when is the WWE on Nickelodeon?
Double Dare.
I double dare you, Braun Strowman.
I double dare you to be smart.
That actually kind of makes sense. Because it's almost like SpongeBob and Patrick are fighting each other, so now you need the slime.
They're kid-friendly, and people see green slime and they go, ooh.
Yeah. Ooh, look at me. I got green slime over here.
Oh, Patrick. Right. Oh, Patrick.
Let's touch upon the Wednesday Night Wars. We'll start off with WWE side because we're talking WWE. We'll go NXT. We'll start with Disco and Fuego. Give me your highlights.
You go ahead. I'm all AEW, man. I think I'm all right with NXT, but I'd rather you lead. I'll lead AEW. That's just I'm a homer. I'm a mark, as they say.
A narc?
Mark.
I heard narc too. I was like,
yeah. Okay.
I was a bit thrown off.
Clarify next time. All right.
I did. I said Mark.
My top 3 moments from this week. So
what? Top 3 or what? Are you changing up the fucking narrative on us?
Shut your mouth, dude. Cut it out.
Stay on script.
WWE. Marcel Bartel versus Tommaso Ciampa was an absolute banger.
Yes.
Especially in the fact because we don't get to see Barcel fight in single fights often. So seeing him do that just looked very, very good. And pairing him on NXT is great, especially because the next part of it, Walter came out. And it looks like they're setting up Walter and Tommaso Ciampa at TakeOver, which is going to be the feud that nobody knew we needed, but we're going to love every second of it because it's going to be fucking unbelievable, that feud. That's going to be a great feud from top to bottom. The only thing I didn't like about the show was LA Knight's debut. I understand, when you first debut a guy, you got to put him in some squash matches because you want to get him over. But it's just, they just kind of threw this together. Like, get him and Bronson Reed officially underway and let them go at it. Like, LA Knight faced, oh, God, who was it? August Gray.
Yeah.
There's no need. Let them go at it. Bronson Reed and formerly known as Eli Drake, but now known as LA Knight in NXT, let them go at it. Let them start their feud, go into TakeOver, and just enjoy the ride. Everything else from TakeOver, from NXT was great.
Yeah.
Personally, Diego, do you have any moments that you wanted to talk about?
I would agree. I mean, I was actually pleasantly happy with the Dakota Kai and Zoe Stark match. I mean,
that was really good.
Those two women went at each other at every single way possible. They threw every single one of their tricks that they had up down to the sleeves. Just seeing Zoe Stark just realize her dream basically, and do this thing with Dakota. I mean, you see Gonzalez come in. She always just looks like a pissed off long-legged Puerto Rican.
Yeah, you want a good back? Date Raquel Gonzalez. You have a good back.
That's a good back.
Yeah,
that's a good back.
A very good back.
But I mean, Dakota Kai she looks so focused on this, and I mean that Coda kick was actually phenomenal. That delivery was phenomenal.
But it's good to see names like Zoe Stark and company slowly progress up the ladder in NXT. That's what they do so much better than the main roster does. Is they always give time to people that are up and coming, and when they get stuff like this, it just looks really good.
I mean, when you look at the show in itself, like when you look at the opening statement between, I think it was Finn Balor and oh God, what's his name? Why am I drawing a blank?
How dare you disrespect Karrion Kross like that by forgetting his name?
Yeah, I know what a jackass.
Scarlett Bordeaux's out there. You need to know who it is.
That's why I'm the Twisted Bunny. I'm trying to get back into my good graces because I'm forgetting people's names left and right.
There's so many.
I know, right? I'm surprised I know my own.
That opening statement in itself, personally,
I don't like Karrion Kross. I mean, I think he's all right. I think there's a lot of hype behind him.
He's good. And he can deliver a good promo. But Finn Balor, man, you got so much experience, and your promo delivery, man, it's pointless.
He's never been really good at it.
It's pointless.
I think, to be completely honest with you, and it's been said to Hunterman and I kind of agree with the take. Karrion Kross is low key becoming the Braun Strowman of NXT.
Oh,
yeah. I feel like we said that every week, and I would agree.
It's just you can't have him lose, but you can't have him win. You're in a lose-lose situation with them. It's like when they had the Fiend win the title, like he didn't need to win it. Nope. And when he was in the title picture originally against Seth in the Hell in a Cell that we don't talk about, he just didn't.
I will log off right now if you talk about that again.
He just didn't need to be in that match. He's just so good without a belt, and that's how I feel with Karrion Kross is.
Yeah,
but
yeah, I mean, overall, like if you look at the opening statement itself, it was whack. But then you look at the rest of the show, and it's like the rest of the show took care of business for that opening statement, because that opening statement was kind of hyped up to be much better than what it really was.
Mm-hmm.
And also, we saw Jordan Devlin come back, which was good sight to see. The Cruiserweight champion that was stuck in Ireland due to the pandemic, now having him go up against I'm drawing a blank. Escobar. Yep, that's his name.
Yeah.
Don't come on, guys. Me.
I
asked you to take a part of it.
How dare you take a part of this?
I asked you to take a part of this. You said no.
I was gonna wait for you to mention Escobar so I could segue into. I loved Walter coming back, my favorite guy, the ring general. But my underrated match of the night was Breezango versus Legado de Fantasma, because that match was a banger, and I just think they got a significant amount of time. Tyler Breeze is overlooked because they're very more comedic as the fashion police and everything like that. But that dude is unreal in the ring. And they got a chance to shine, and I feel like they don't get talked about enough. I know they got their tag championship run, which wasn't very long, and I'm glad they got it. But I think they had the match of the night. And then obviously Walter coming back with champ has got to be the best, because if you don't know Walter, he just slaps everyone and ruins their day and then jumps on them from really high up. Yeah, I tried to slap my arm to make, make it really loud and just fucking,
That hurt.
See, I can't imagine taking that like 16 times in a match, but my only bad would have to be the squash. I think, like you said, LA Knight. At this point, I know you're establishing him for the audience and everything, but you could throw him in with someone a little bit more well-known. I know Bronson Reed and him will be at TakeOver. That'll be one of the nights. But I think the squash match thing is overdone and outdone. You need to find another way to establish people.
Agreed. And
I'm
also,
going to have a bruise from that.
Yeah, and also, too, Danny Birch from the Tag Team Champions doesn't look like he's going to be returning to action anytime soon.
Mm-hmm.
As it looked like he had the Karrion Kross injury where he separated his shoulder.
Yep.
So
hopefully he doesn't miss much time, but you have plenty of tag teams that can take the helm.
Another thing to look out for.
Mm-hmm.
But let's slide over into the winning side of the Wednesday Night Wars. Let's talk AEW.
Yeah.
I'll let Disco and Fuego take the realm on this because this is his stuff.
I love it so much. I'm still just gonna stick with my top two good things. Greatest, good, not so great. Not so great, just to get it out of the way. The Pinnacle. Cool name, I guess. I like it. They're considering themselves the pinnacle of the industry. If you're not aware, it's the name of MJF's new group, which consists of MJF, Wardlow, FTR, Sean Spears, and Tully Blanchard. Blanchard. He's just a manager. He's old. But
fuck you. He does a spike pile driver.
He does the little jump. Yeah, he can still go. He's fine. But I thought the promo kind of sucked. It was.
I think I can word it best. It was good. It wasn't great.
It had such I know this is. I think we all read something similar that someone compared it to Triple H's Evolution promo, way back in the day when they first got established. Just me. It was pretty close, bro. If you can think about, if you have to Google that or YouTube.
Oh no, I agree with you, but Triple H if you've watched Triple H's promo for Evolution, it was 1,000 times better than fucking MJF.
Yeah, I just think it was, you run down the lineup, you hype them up individually, you make fun of whoever you beat down last week. They made fun of Jericho's pecs not really being pecs anymore. It's got that separated chest and all that. But that was just, I'm excited for the name. I think that's all right. You want to be the pinnacle of the industry. That's what people say. So hopefully they do some good stuff there.
The name could have been a lot worse. I think we can all agree.
Yeah, it could have been really bad. For the good, I'm going to have to go with Brian Cage deciding to seemingly split from Team Taz because they had Darby and Sting out. Or it was just Sting and Darby? Was it both?
Sting and Darby, yeah.
Sting and Darby, yeah.
Because
go ahead.
Darby did the you know how many times I've defended this TNT title? 3. I want to be a weekly champion, and basically got shut out the Dark Order, saying that anyone who wants it, come get it.
Yep, and that match is going to be great next week.
I think it's him and Silver, right?
Yep. Oh yeah, got to pick John Silver. And then the thing that happened there was Team Taz came out trying to like kind of pick the fight again and be like, I know you beat us, but we're not through. We're not done with this. And Brian Cage stepped up and said, yo, I got something to say. And he told Sting he's still the icon. He's still got it. And basically hinted and said that he wants to go do his own thing. So as a dude that he's not necessarily the best promo guy, kind of like Balor, he can get it done. He can say words without fumbling too much. He's a single star waiting to happen. So I'm excited to see that split, even if he feuds with Team Taz. I mean, how good could Ricky Stark make him look? You know,
very.
And the best. I hope you guys got the chance to catch it, even in a replay or live. But Baker versus Rosa in the Lights Out match.
Yes.
That was one of the best women's matches I've ever seen of all time.
Yeah.
And AEW gets a lot of flack for their women's division. Even in recent weeks, they seem to only highlight a couple people here and there, and they'll throw them on like right before the main event, throw a commercial break in the middle, split it up, and just make you say like, why do I even care about this? But oh my goodness, man. I don't know if they were supposed to bleed, but all that blood it just added to it. And Britt Baker came out looking like a star, dude. Come on, man.
Oh my God.
Gross.
Women.
Cancel.
Gotta love them. Yeah, cancel me, please.
But I think Baker came out looking like the star, even though she lost. They took some nasty bumps and I mean, even thumbtacks. And then I've already rewatched that match like once or twice this week. I think it was twice.
Yeah, that match brought me shades of that WrestleMania event with Mick Foley and the
Foley and Edge.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was just so chaotic and brutal between those two. That was just like, oh.
How many thumbtack bumps?
Every hit like actually pained me.
Not for nothing, but that was probably the best women's match I've seen since the Hell in a Cell between Sasha and Charlotte a few years back.
Yeah,
that's probably the best women's match I've seen since then.
Yes. That's definitely AEW's best women's match. And again, you made Britt Baker look like a huge star just from taking all that punishment and gushing blood and everything like that. And then you still got Rosa to get her win. And now you have two very formidable people to go forward. And I feel like we say this every week too. I don't know when they're going to pull the trigger on Baker. It's like, that was proof at how good she's gotten and how far she's come. And again, she's dating Adam Cole. So I'm pretty sure he can show her how to, do the graps pretty well. So
Did you see Adam Cole's tweet, by the way?
Sorry, I broke character.
Did you see Adam Cole's tweet, by the way?
Yeah, he goes, Kyle O'Reilly, I hate you. My girlfriend's a badass.
Yeah.
20,000 likes right there. Yeah. But I thought it was so good. I mean, for the Pinnacles promo being my least favorite outside of like maybe Ray Phoenix's squash match just to get him on TV and to fill some time. Pretty good show. You had Cody and Penta too. That was good. I mean, we don't have to touch on it unless you guys really loved it. But what did you guys think? I feel like it's going to be very similar for the best and worst.
Well, to go kind of different from you, obviously we can all agree that the Baker and Thunder Rose match was must see TV. The one thing I was looking forward to, but kind of disappointed in was that 10-man tag with Jurassic Express and Bear Country versus Matt Hardy, Private Party, and Butcher and Blade. It was a TV filler. It's all it was. It wasn't as great as I was hoping it would be. And to be completely honest with you, Moxley and Kingston versus the Good Brothers was very good. We didn't touch upon that. That was another good match. And then it basically led to Kingston getting written off TV from what it looked like. And I think they're slowly doing the same with Moxley. And you have the Good Brothers standing over them, and the Bucks are like, nope, we're not standing for it. We're not standing for it. So Young Bucks and Good Brothers coming soon.
The only thing I hate about those matches that WWE does it almost all the time, and AEW hopefully doesn't make a trend out of it, when two guys, again, Moxley and Kingston have a better story and a history together, but you beat the Good Brothers who have been tag teaming for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I hate that when you throw two main event guys together and then all of a sudden they can beat one of the most formidable tag teams in the world. I don't like when they do that, personally. But again, with Kingston and Moxley's history, I'll give it a pass because it was a good show.
It's just for that. It's just more so of who takes the pinfall on that.
Yeah.
Who can afford it? You know what I mean? That's why the majority of the times the WWE does it.
Yeah.
It's who can afford the pinfall. That's
well, they had who was it like probably a year or so ago? They had the Usos beat Daniel Bryan and somebody who they threw together because they were feuding about something.
What?
It was very unexpected because it was like Bryan and Owens or something like that or some two. I forget who it was.
It wasn't Bryan and The Miz, was it?
No, maybe. But whoever it was, they threw. It was like they were in a feud, and then they threw him against the Usos, and you're like, they're gonna beat the Usos, yada. And then the Usos ended up beating them, and I was like,
no, that could have actually been Daniel Bryan and The Miz because Daniel Bryan and The Miz had a feud for a little bit as well. It was a minor feud, but I think
they dropped. Yeah. But that's a perfect example of them getting something like that right. Like the Usos are one of the best teams.
It was Bray
Wyatt. There you go.
Bray Wyatt.
So to me, I like when the tag team that's very prolific and featured gets that win. Yeah. But in the end, they beat them down. They look good, I guess, coming back, and they're heels. So,
yeah. I mean, other than that, I thought the show was very good. Diego, you got any takes on it?
Yeah, I mean, again, I agree with the Rosa versus Baker match. I mean,
so good.
I said it earlier. That was a painful match to watch, but delivers such a good product. I think the biggest fumble of this week was obviously the MJF introducing the Pinnacle. I just didn't think it was all that great. But I actually, to deviate aside of what you guys have talked about, I actually think that the major push throughout all of wrestling lately seems like the women's divisions just continue to grow.
They're better than the men, it seems like, at this point. If you have the right combo.
Yeah, this week, I mean, even AEW introduced Jade Cargill versus Danny Jordan, and that was actually a pretty good introduction too. I mean, Cargill looked phenomenal. She single-handedly just delivered a massive German suplex over Jordan, and she was just good.
Yeah,
I think.
I know because if people don't remember, she's the one that tagged with Shaq a couple weeks back.
Yeah,
seemingly just didn't have a follow-up match for whatever reason, and then this week they put her out there and had her just again destroy. Who was it? Jordan. I had it written down. Hold on. Danny Jordan. And then they also had her kind of go over to Red Velvet and just be like, "Hey, I'm still here. Don't forget about me." So they still have that they can go with. But yeah, they're building up their stars, dude.
And Cargill has a good physique. I mean, I personally think she's going to be one of the toughest people.
Dude, she's intimidating as heck.
Yeah.
My goodness.
So
I've never seen. Oof.
Danny Jones, a male, right? she fought a guy, right? She fought a guy, right? No, I mean, dude, it was a great show overall. I mean, we can go on and on about it, but let's move into SmackDown. Let's touch on SmackDown. I know Diego, we were talking off it. Diego kind of was iffy about it. I'll give mine thoughts about it first. I think my really good, obviously, I think it's going to be everybody's really good, was Edge on SmackDown again for the first time in over 10 years competing. It was a great sight to see. Obviously, he is now the special enforcer for Fastlane, which we will talk about after this. But I think that was pretty good. I liked what they did with Sasha and Nia Jax, having Shayna cost Nia and having them beef with each other. I think that's going to lead up to them at WrestleMania.
Yep.
Hopefully, but I mean, God only knows because Vince McMahon, and you just never know. And the only bad thing about it was, for me, I think the tag team, because personally, if I'm looking at it, and I'm looking at the fact that they did, I almost said Private Party, the Street Profits versus.
That's gonna be if they ever get a match together, it's gonna be so good.
Yeah, the Street Profits versus Mysterios. Mysterios beat them. Then out comes Alpha Academy. Alpha Academy beats them, basically setting up the fact that it looks like we're gonna get a fatal 4-way tag team match with the SmackDown tag team titles. I mean, that it was all right. It wasn't great personally. And I think the only other thing that I really liked was people didn't like it because it was labeled as the least anticipated match in SmackDown.
Dude, that was
history.
freaking hilarious.
It was pretty good. It was pretty good. Corbin beating Zayn and then having Zayn literally go over to Owens after and just hit him with the Helluva kick. Oh,
yeah.
They're gonna fist fight at WrestleMania. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, we need it. We needed that, honestly.
Dude, that little promo package before that match was like, well, what's the thing that does the movie reviews on YouTube?
Rotten Tomatoes.
It's like they make fun of everything with the trailer and everything.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I can't fucking.
They literally did that with Zayn and Corbin. And again, I'm sure whoever watches this will know exactly who I'm talking about off the top of my head. But I actually I was with Jones and I literally laughed out loud and I was just like, huh.
Come on, there's not a minute that you two are not together. You two are like the most beautiful couple that Hollywood.
What are you talking about? We're not even hit.
Yeah. I'm at my house. He's at his. There's no one there.
The wall over?
No.
Wall over?
He's in the closet.
No. We don't live in the same house, I promise.
God.
But nah, the Priesthood Bunny. Why don't you give me your thoughts on SmackDown?
I mean, you said yourself, basically like the best match of the night was personally, obviously, just seeing Edge back in action.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of a little bit worried about the EST showing a lot of her weaknesses lately. I felt like there was such a big up and run for her and whatnot, and WWE in itself kind of fell behind her and kind of amped her up a bit, and now she's just weakness after weakness after weakness. I'm kind of worried that in itself is a major flop coming to SmackDown after basically being the number one show for the past couple months, in my opinion, for WWE. Other than that, I think the storyline between this Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns thing, it's a little bit tiresome at this point. I think I want to see just...
How long is your attention span is what I want to know.
When I'm not interested...
Not long at all,
when
dude.
I'm not interested, not long at all, man.
Not long at all. I will tell you. I know my friend Diego.
I will tell you,
my friend Diego, not at all.
Purposes, like for the physicality purposes and what it has to offer, like, yeah, it's great and all. But I think for me, I've just seen the storyline a little bit too exhausted, in my opinion. I will have to say, though, that face-off between Seth Rollins and Shinsuke Nakamura in the ring kind of made me chuckle a bit. Just seeing Shinsuke Nakamura be like,
just like, get back
up. Like that in itself, I was just like, perfect. That's all I need. Shut up. That's it.
That match is also going to be very good. And just to go to my real quick, I mean, I know I'm not going to pick Edge and Uso because you guys already did, which, screw you. I should have went first. My best is going to be, I actually liked the women's stuff. I thought the Sasha Belair mixed matches was good because
I thought you were talking about the other part of the women's show, and I was like, ugh.
Which part?
I thought you were talking about the one where Natalia and Tamina came out.
I was going to get to that. But
it was
slam your pen again. I'll walk right up the street. We live close, by the way.
Too close to comfort.
So you had Belair and Baszler obviously later on in the show, but you had Sasha and Nia, and I'm pretty sure it was for the championship, right? Yeah.
Sasha and
Nia. Sasha wins. Shayna Baszler causes the distraction. Shayna says, "Yo, my bad. Let me request this match. I'm gonna stomp, Belair's face in." And you go out. Belair was in Sasha's corner at the beginning of the night. Belair comes out, has her match with Shayna. Sasha comes out, makes her way halfway down, and then goes, "You know what? You got this," and then just left. So I was like, okay, so Belair's gonna have your back, and then you're gonna be like, you know what? No thanks. So it's nice they're teasing that tension of Sasha kind of becoming a heel again.
Yeah.
And it was very I was like, they're really gonna add this extra match before the pay-per-view. And then they added that little tidbit of her just kind of walking out. She didn't abandon her, but she just kind of was like, you got this. And it was kind of like an FU. So I like that. And my second favorite part was just the Helluva kick that Sami Zayn landed on Kevin Owens. Because he just kicked the shit out of his head.
Dude,
and
open your eyes.
I almost wanted to see a tooth just flying, much like an Oscar moment. Just
Kevin Owens is lucky that was the back of his head.
Yes.
Because if that was the front of his face, oof. But because Owens was like, I'll come out there, I'll watch your match. If I see something that you're saying is true, I will join your documentary conspiracy team. And Sami Zayn tried to cheat 16 times. So Owens is like, that was just good officiating. I don't I don't know what you're talking about. And then Owens just turns and gets Kalua kicked straight to frickin' the second row. And they kept showing the replay because it actually connected. And sometimes WWE does the replay where they do real slow-mo, and then right before it connects, it just goes, and you're like, oh, well, did he even hit him? But they slowed down and they went, boosh. I just
no more thigh slapping.
And you just hit him as hard as you can. So now you're gonna get seemingly Sami Zayn versus Owens at WrestleMania. They've been in seemingly a feud forever. They always have great matches. Look back to Battleground 2016, I believe.
That's the cups.
So good. And now you finally get their WrestleMania match. And if you told me 4 years ago they finally got a match at Mania and Kevin Owens was the face and Sami Zayn was the heel, I'd be like, hey, what are you talking about?
Yo, fucking cooked.
So I'm excited for that. And the bad, I guess, I don't want to say the tag team because I like that they're featuring everybody, but I know the bad one. Big E not running over Apollo Crews with the golf cart. It was right there. They had the interviews. Big E was like, you know what? F this. I'm gonna go find this boy. And then he was driving. Apollo! I'll come out wherever you are. And he's driving the golf cart and he sees him. And Apollo's like doing the thing, like, oh no, he's here. And then he's like, Big E, why chase him? Do the thing. Everyone loves a golf cart spot. But he just chased him and they brawled. And, whatever.
Everybody loves a golf cart.
What's wrong with a golf cart spot,
Roman and Owens did it. Sammy Guevara did it with Kenny Omega and Matt Hardy. It was top 2 moments of the year.
Oh, yeah. I gotta say, though, the best golf cart, though, is that Roman versus Owens.
It came out of nowhere.
Legitimately, all of a sudden, you just see Roman Reigns almost kill a guy.
I mean, because the Owens Guevara thing was almost like an anime. Because you see it, He's getting closer and closer, and then he goes, oh, and then.
Yeah, I was watching that with my fiance. My fiance herself was like, "What the hell was that?"
I mean,
dude, just hit him on a truck. It's fine.
Just shoot him with a gun. You'll be fine.
Just wait. One day, someone's gonna come in with a gun and just shoot him.
No DQ match. Shoot him with a gun.
WWE Creative's just gonna have one thing: shoot him in the leg.
Taser. Shoot him with a gun. Whatever. But that's. Whatever.
All right, let's transition to our last topic. We're gonna talk about Fastlane. We're gonna do Fastlane predictions here.
We gotta do match by match.
Yeah,
all right,
match by match, and I'm
lower card sub. We'll just say winners.
I'm going to be keeping track, and we will talk about the winners and losers of it next episode.
Finally,
back
ramifications.
All right, so we'll start off with the intergender match. Alexa Bliss and Randy Orton. I was teasing, men fighting women all episode. Here we are.
Yeah.
I'll start with Hahnemann. Give me your thoughts on this.
Alexa Bliss is going to win when the Fiend comes back for his feud with Randy Orton. I mean, how much are they going to even have a match? Like, how much can they really do without WWE getting some really bad press? So I think Fiend comes back and Alexa Bliss gets the pin.
Ooh.
You got to bring it back at some point,
Priested Bunny.
Do they have a match?
No, I'm saying the Priested Bunny. That's Diego.
I want to make sure you guys are paying attention.
Oh, I was. Fucker.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Alexa Bliss winning this one.
Like I really want to put just no contest, but I know that there's going to be a winner, so I'm gonna agree.
No cop out answers.
I'm gonna agree and say Alexa Bliss because of what Hahnemann said, and I think we're gonna hear "Let Me In," and if I hear that theme song, I'm gonna go buck wild because I miss that man. All right, let's start with next one. Let's get it out of the way. Women's tag team title match: Nia and Jaina versus Sasha and Bianca. Started with the Priested Bunny there.
Ooh. I don't need the Fiend back if you're just gonna get that close to camera. No, I'm going forward.
I'm gorgeous.
I'm gonna go with Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks.
No, I'm not. Okay, sorry. Sorry, carry on.
So he said Bianca and Sasha. Okay. I'm gonna go. I think it's gonna be Nia and Shannon retaining. just because Nia's hole is going to give in the way, and there's no way that they lose the tag titles right now. Within the next couple of weeks, maybe, but I think Nia and Jaina win, retain.
So
I hope it's Nia and Baszler. I'm gonna pick them right now, but little side prediction. Not that we have to keep track of it, but if Belair and Sasha win, they're gonna have them drop it to Natalya and Tamina going into Mania to build tension. Just because you can't have heels beat heels for whatever reason. Yeah, but I'm hoping it's Nia and Shayna, and then they get like a multi-team match at Mania with the best teams from each brand.
Watch the first one we have different, so we'll see who's right. All right, let's do.
I said Nia and Shayna though. We're there. You got me. Okay.
Yes. Let's do Shinsuke and Seth. We touched upon this earlier. This is gonna be a great feud. Great match. Feud. It's gonna last this, and then we're gonna see Seth and Cesaro at WrestleMania. It's gonna be fantastic.
Cesara's first single match at Mania. Nakamura's going to lose, so Seth Rollins wins. It's kind of cool they split Cesaro and Nakamura, but they're still kind of friendly. So I'm cool with that. Kind of reminds me of back in the day when Ryback and Curtis Axel split, and they were boys, and then they're like, "Hey man, look at you being a single competitor." Yeah. He's like, "I want to do that," and they're like, "All right, good luck."
Ryback, I agree. Seth Rollins is going to have the momentum going into Mania, only for him to lose to Cesaro, and I can't wait for it. Seth Rollins is my pick.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be a great match. That could steal the show.
Yeah, I definitely think Seth Rollins as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like it. All right. Let's do Riddle and Mustafa Ali.
Ooh.
I'll start. Retain. Matt Riddle still champion.
Yeah, I have zero faith in them to give Ali anything, so I'm going to go with Riddle, even though he deserves it. Riddle's good too, but Mustafa Ali's just so underused, and this whole Retribution storyline's poo. So I'm gonna say Riddle.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with Riddle too. I thought the Retribution storyline might get somewhere eventually, but it just went to shambles fast.
They just keep losing.
And also, nothing else. And the fact that Bobby Lashley's not on the card.
Yeah, I know, right? Why is he going to defend the title?
Yeah, I don't know. That's weird.
All right, so that's 4. 5 is that one. Big E and Apollo Crews.
Big E.
Diego?
This one's difficult. I like both of them a lot. I really do.
Especially with Apollo's new character.
Yeah. Give me Big E.
All right.
I'm going to have to disagree and say Big E.
Nice. Thank you. Dang. Wait, so far Diego was different from us in one match, right?
Yeah.
Switch me to Apollo. I want to at least have one different from everybody. That way there ain't no ties in this MFer.
And watch, Apollo's gonna win.
I'll punch Hunman in the face because I'll be with them on Sunday for it. All right, let's do what I believe should be the co-main event. Let's do Drew and Sheamus. Start with the Priest of Bunny.
Man, this is such a good match.
What was the face for, Hunter? Jesus.
No holds barred.
Yes.
Yep.
This is such a good match. And, I mean, we've kind of seen somewhat of a tease to a no holds bar between these two. This was about like 2 weeks ago where they just brutally went at each other.
When they threw the stairs at each other and couldn't stand up?
Yes. I'm actually going to go here with Drew McIntyre. I think at this point, Sheamus's like storyline is just coming to a quick ending, not Shawn Michaels kind of ending. That comparison, that was just bullshit. You can't.
I'm not saying they're at the same talent level. I'm saying they're filling the same role. Okay.
I know what he's getting at, but I hate him. So fuck you.
Yeah, because it makes sense.
Ruthless aggression.
Fuck you, nasty.
You nasty.
Yeah, I'm a good Drew with this one.
Hunterman's
Drew. I don't like that. Like I said, I don't like that they announced the match beforehand. They could pull a swerve because if this was a number one contender match, you can say, okay, Drew's winning. They're not going to do Sheamus in Lashley. Right. The fact that they are just kind of labeling it as that, you could have Lashley do some shenanigans and start their feud. But I'm going to say Drew because they obviously want to make him look like an unstoppable force going in to meet the other unstoppable force. So, Drew.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I agree with my friend Drew at the bottom here. And I'm going to take Drew McIntyre. Get it? Because your name's Andrew and your dad calls you Drew?
Jones, be different once, you know?
I can't.
Don't be afraid to lose, bro.
I'm picking with my head. I'm a smart boy. All right, let's do the main event. Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman versus Daniel Bryan. I will start with obviously Edge is the special guest enforcer. There's going to be some chicanery where Jay gets involved. Edge stops it. Edge goes to hit Roman with a spear. He hits Daniel Bryan. Roman beats Bryan, sets up the triple threat for Mania. So I got Roman retaining.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense to have Roman if there is some chicanery where there's interference or Edge gets knocked down and another ref. So it's special enforcer, not special referee, right?
Yes.
So Edge is there to make sure there's no Jey Uso or whatever, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, maybe Edge screws over Bryan, but I'm gonna pick Roman.
I think so. What I think is, and it would be the most WWE ending of all time, is Jay hits Edge from behind. Edge chases him into the ring and goes to spear him and gets Daniel Bryan. And that sets up Roman either tapping him out or pinning him or whatever. But Edge is going to spear Daniel Bryan at one point and cost Daniel
unintentional
Bryan.
or not, then I still think you're getting a triple threat. I mean, you have to. I hope they do that. But yeah, I'm going to pick Roman.
Diego?
So I agree a little bit with the previous comment about the typical WWE event where by accident somebody gets speared. But I actually think in this case scenario, the match is going to be so physical between those two, and it's going to come down to like who can outlast who. We've seen
who.
We've seen Roman do that from time to time. I actually think in this case scenario, though, Jey Uso by accident will probably hit Roman, and Edge will hit the ref, and then creating a diversion for Roman to finally just hit that one last spear over Daniel Bryan out of nowhere so that he can tap out. So Roman over Bryan.
I think Roman does the guillotine and chokes him out.
Ooh.
Well, don't forget, he did say in the promo, Daniel Bryan said he's going to make Roman tap, so I think Roman's going to make him tap. Or pass out, one of those.
Yeah, I'd say pass out because then Bryan never actually gives up.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you can still protect him. I mean, that's the best finish for that match, I think.
Yeah.
Right. All right, so that's what we got. Any last thoughts before we conclude episode 4?
So, quick question for you guys, because we haven't seen anything alluding to a possible return. But Becky Two Belts, does she return before WrestleMania or the Monday after WrestleMania?
Monday after
WrestleMania.
100%.
Monday after WrestleMania.
And there was a thing. I'm sorry, I forgot. Charlotte seems to have I can't talk. She's been taken off of the WrestleMania promo images for whatever reason. They were doing all their ticket sales this past week, and she was like second to the left, and now she's no longer in the promo. Whether that means she's hurt or they're going a different route, or she's mad because Andrade won't get his release. Who knows?
Or maybe pregnant. Who knows?
And they also announced Rhea Ripley is kind of going to debut on Monday. So if you're going to be doing that with 4 weeks to WrestleMania, you better give her something to do. I think you're getting less. So because it's 4 weeks from friggin' tomorrow. I think you're going to get Ripley versus Asuka. And Charlotte might miss the show, so I'm thinking Ripley Asuka, and I am all for it.
Ooh.
3 weeks from tomorrow.
Yep.
3 weeks. That's right.
All right.
So, developing story.
Anything else?
No, I have to pee.
All right. From us here at Suplex Biddies, make sure you're following us on Twitter at Suplex Biddies. Make sure you're following Diego at Diego_the DJ. Make sure you're following Honeyman at Andrew Honeybuns. That's HUNNYBUNS, like the honey bun, but with his last name. Make sure you're following me at T121212. Big shout out to Couch Guy Sports again. Make sure you check that out. Use the internet once in your life. And this is us signing off for episode 4. We'll see you next week.